What up, y'all? IntraVenus here, back with another episode of P.O.L Game Review and Music, and today I'm going to give you a little bit of information on how to make your PS2 games run well, depending on the game, because you have to do this a game-by-game basis on the PS2 on this device. It doesn't run every PlayStation 2 game. It doesn't run every GameCube game, but it does have GameCube and Wii listed here, and you can run some, but PlayStation 2 is where it's at for me, and the controls are perfect for it. And there are a lot of games that you can play well, but you need to know how to do these settings. So first off, let's go ahead and get into our games, and we're just going to pop a game open. I want to try Lord of the Rings Aragorn's Quest. You're going to pop into this second menu first. It's just another list of ROMs, but it's a little cleaned up, looks better. This is for the Aether SX2 emulator, which should be your default on your RG405V. Once more, we're going to go down and we're going to pick our game, Aragorn's Quest. And this varies depending on the game. Some games are really graphically quite enhancing and use a lot of the power on your console. Some games are like side-scrollers and 2D, and they don't use a lot of CPU power. Either way, you want to make sure that this button is always on. So go up here and you might see that it's on auto mode. I would put it on high mode, because with PS2 you're going to need a high mode. Alright, so make sure that's on. Just leave it on. We're in the game. Make sure we got some volume going here. This game's pretty fun too. So far, it seems like it's running pretty smoothly. That also might be because I've already played it. It's a pretty good game. In fact, let's just go ahead into one of my load states here, because I'm sure I had one. Okay, so we're in the game. Zoom in. This game's running great. In fact, I'd highly recommend, if you haven't played this and you like games like Diablo, but you don't want it to be really, turn that down a bit. You don't want it to be really, I don't know, just like too much of a daunting task, too big of a game. This is kind of like a slimmed down Diablo. You still have your menu where you have weapons you can pick up and you upgrade your defenses and everything, but it's very simplistic compared to Diablo. Still a really good game. I digress. When you're playing PS2 games, sometimes it'll run like this and sometimes it won't. The first thing you want to do, and in fact I would do this even if it seems to be running smooth, if you just want to see if it can get any smoother and still run just as well. It's fun to play around with. Go ahead and hit this eye in a circle. It's a white circle with an eye in it, so I'm going to hit that. And then it pops up this, and we're going to go to General Settings. And in here we're going to hit Set Optimal Settings. Let's back out and just see if that's altered our game any. And it certainly hasn't made it bad. It might be better, you know. I probably already did this before. What that does is it'll set your current game settings for the app to optimal settings for running a smooth gameplay experience. If that doesn't make your game run well, then you're going to need to go a step further. Let's go back in that menu. We'll hit the eye. We're going to go to General Settings again, and this time we're hitting Set Fast Settings. And when you hit that, you'll see it pop up down here. That'll kind of speed everything up. It may, like it says here, set unsafe defaults for the game, which means you might run into some graphical errors, little tiny glitches, but if you need it to make it through a part of the game that all of a sudden becomes too intense, there's too much happening at once and it's slowed down, you may need to hit fast settings on a level throughout a game you're playing that was running smoothly. So keep in mind the fast settings are there, and you're going to actually use that a lot when playing PlayStation 2 games, because there are a lot of really large, graphically intense games for this device, and you're going to need to set fast settings just to experience them in any way that's playable. So there's more to know here, but the basics are these two, and then you can play around a little more. There's a few more spots that I like to mess with, and I always keep in mind. If you're trying to get a smoother gameplay, or to get it to run faster at optimal speed, maybe you need to introduce some frame skipping or something. It's alright if it makes the gameplay smoother for you. The whole time, maybe not so much, but if it gets you through a level, let's just say we're going to go to our system settings here. You have underclocking here. Right now, it's set at -1. The underclocking is very important. I would play with anywhere from 0 to -3. -3 being what you'd use for the most intense graphical games, and then 0 you will use for the least intense games. That is an important one to know. So always keep in mind that EE cycle rate, underclocking, 0 to -3. Play with that, definitely. Another thing is, in the graphics settings, there's two spots you want to notice. Right here is the GPU renderer. Sometimes it's not set, but if you need it, and you might as well put it on a lot of the times because you probably will need it, you're going to hit that and click on Vulkan. Most of the time, Vulkan is the one you want. If you're in a part of the game where you're running Vulkan and you've run into a level that seems like it's totally glitched out, then come to this place back here to the settings, the GPU renderer, and click on software, and that'll likely clear it up and make the level viewable and playable again the way it was supposed to, because it seems, I guess, it runs following the way the software is supposed to, instead of doing all these little cheat codes, you could say, and shortcuts to make it run smoother. So Vulkan, and then software when you need to, if it's doing glitchy stuff while you're in Vulkan. The second spot here that you're going to need to know is the upscale multiplier. This you can turn up if it's a smaller game or less graphically intense game, so you can enjoy a little improvement further than your native resolution. This is an upscale multiplier. Sometimes you'll need to bring this down to get through a game. In that case, we'll scroll up, and you can go to negative, or rather 0.75 or even 0.5, and bring it down, and that actually can help you in a lot of cases. It'll make things blockier looking, and it won't look as good graphically, but it'll run at a better speed, possibly the average or normal speed it should, so you can get through the level or the game that you're trying to play. Those are the things that you need to know to be able to get this to run smoothly, and I would highly recommend following these steps. So let's go over one more time real quick. If you're playing a game, you open your game up, you're going to hit this button, then you're going to hit the I in the top corner, I in a circle. You're going to go to general settings, you're going to set optimal settings. If that doesn't work, you're going to hit fast settings. If that doesn't work, then you're going to try system settings and adjust your underclocking. Move it down further as far as -3. If that is still not working, then you're going to come to graphics settings, and you're going to try your GPU renderer to Vulkan, and you're going to try your upscale multiplier, and you're going to move it down to 0.5. And that's it. You should be able to get a game that runs really smoothly, and depending on the game, you will. This game is really good, and I suggest you play Aragorn's Quest. It's pretty fun if you like Lord of the Rings. Now, if you do like Lord of the Rings, I will tell you that a game that doesn't run well is Return of the King. But I have it here still because I'm still working on it. I'm trying to find the right settings, and I'll let you know if I get that running well. Max Payne runs good. I got Medal of Honor running good. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoy this video, and I'll make sure to put chapters in each one of these videos so you can skip around, find what you need. And don't forget to tune into my other videos. I love the RG405V, and I play this more than my Nintendo Switch, y'all. So, thanks, and y'all have a good day, and don't forget to check out my newest album, and peace out.
Young man, old soul, it's an omen.